gajo que está pelo caminho, os segurança vai nos foder, caralho.
Espera aí.
Bora, bora. Posso cambiar uma rua na vossa?
Já está às escuta, já estou no local, vou proceder ao encerramento da ponte. Já estou em consonância, é o trabalho que vocês agora em consonância.
Heute ist der and I thought about you. But let me explain a little bit first about what these magic sticks do. Some of you might know they are called Reiki sticks, because you can use them for energy. Is going from this magic to this inner work, and I'll talk about it later. But first, here you are. And you might want to show them around. Yes? Go show the people. They're for you and they're for you. And the nice thing about magic sticks is you can give them a name, you can put them on your altar, you can use them for anything. And this is not Harry Potter, this really works. But then, that's magic. Monsanto for me is not a good company, because they biodegrade our world. They make crops that the farmers have to buy again because the crop will not grow. Just push it away. It's a very simple process. It's like you shout a little and you say, go! Can you do that? Go! 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 Good, good. Born Catholics or something like that. You know, long time ago we had a mass and the priest would stand there in front of the people, looking towards the holy place. Now we do it like this. I don't think it's very good, because what's really meant to be is that you and me together go there and say, Monsanto, please come. This holy mountain, help us. So can we do that and say,
the children are first, before anything, before anybody. Because the children are the keepers of magic. Number two in the laws of nature. Number two in the laws of nature is women. And it's the alpha female in nature that leads and guides the family. The children learn their first language from their moms. Women are born wired genetically different than man. Women are able to see beyond the horizon. Their intuition is superior. They possess, they're born with a greater power, spiritual power. Their intelligence is that must allow the women of the world to stand up and guide us to a better
world. Magic. What is magic? Is magic what we believe? Can we change the world? I think all of you here know a little bit what psychedelics and altered states of consciousness mean. We all know reality is not what you see. Reality is much wider. There's a deeper reality. And is there, you know, something that's finite that's there or isn't there? I don't know. If you take ketamine, you go into many, many, many dimensions, many realities. So I've come to the conclusion that magic in this reality of the observer, the person who does that, we know that since we talk about quantum physics and probabilities and stuff. The result of any experiment is also the result not only of time past, but of time future. Now think about it, of the future. Now think about that. My vision for that is these days next to me, and I make something float. That makes a difference. Why does that make a difference? Because if I can convince Mr. Bush that magic exists, that there are people that can make things float, the world would change. At least if he's an honest guy. The world would change. So the difference between us here and Mr. Bush being here is that psychological, how do you call it, psi forces, things like that. You know, do the tricks with the cards. And you know that. If you do that with 3 people, you can have very, very interesting results about predicting the future or reading each other's mind. Do it with 10,000 people, do it with 1 million people, the results are usually gone. There is no, I'm telling you here that anybody that tries to prove that magic works has a very heavy job ahead of him. Because he has, does it work? No, it does work. Only if you want to change the future, it's very heavy. Ending and endless. It means statistically there is another Earth. And that there is another earth is not so important. But there's another that could not be accepted. But he really made the world think about those things. So what is magic? Magic is the power, the art, the knowledge, the science, if you call it, to manipulate that future tale of what's going to happen. If you have a person who is ill, because thoughts are things, what is in here manifests. And we have all kinds of films about it, videos, whatever, The Secret, What the Bleep, all that kind of stuff. I'm not in favor of all things. Connecting ourselves. So if we want to do magic, we have to connect. Okay, I will go on with that, but let's start with some magic that you will understand. And that's this. How many people wear sunglasses here? Okay. There is some, it tells it to get a color, pigment. It tells it to make vitamin E and D and whatever. And we now know that vitamin E and D are those anti-aging ingredients that we need. In Australia, skin cancer doesn't happen. It happens a lot with the Australians who wear sunglasses all the time. And they now blame ozone layers, and maybe there's some truth to it. But basically, sunglasses are not healthy. These things are not only ecologically very bad because there's mercury in it and stuff, it's hard to make, because they're very poor light. The light it gives you is very poor. If you understand anything about physics, the frequency is really very limited. Those are poor light. What you gain in energy, you save or you lose in lifetime. And this is statistically, of course, if you buy the lamps, it's not you gonna, live. It's bad. Yes, it is bad. But the major reason why all these devices that radiate electromagnetic frequencies is because they're that which makes us live, which is the electromagnetic force of this Earth and that Sun, and a few little planets that help. The birds, they don't go migrate because there's a guy who says, guys, it's time to move. The flowers, they don't, whatever they do, warp, all kinds of stuff, that prevent us from feeling that Earth energy. So radiation by itself is not, you're more successful in life. But are you really working on the child? No. My book on the internet, find it. My name is Luc Sala, and find something on the psyche. The book is called The Wounded Child That Kills You. It's a rather drastic statement. But I was in a wheelchair 4 years ago with, very nasty, some kind of disease. And I learned, get out of it. And if you don't listen, not only will I put you in a wheelchair, but any trip can get you to that level where you start to see your wounded child. Where it comes from, how it happened. I've viewed in my life more than 500 of what you call teachers, from the Dalai Lama to Sogyal Rinpoche to anybody, Tim Leary, everybody. And they all have a dark, with yoga, or standing on your head, or not eating for 5 days, or whatever. Yes, there's many ways of doing it. But once you get in touch with that wounded child and accept it, it kind of dissolves. The problems kind of, yes. It's very strange, but if you accept yourself to be a serial killer, really, and say, not blaming it on whatever, probably it will resolve. That is what are they hiding? And I know people that look like shit, and maybe there is this beauty inside. We all have very complete that we have to have another face, or many faces, and then the psychology call it, multi-personality syndrome and stuff like that. We think about your life. Don't work on the mask. Don't go to NLP trainings, don't go to the next therapist, to the massage shit or whatever. Go to someone that you feel connect, and therefore, because you become more fit for society, it's harder to break the mold. it is harder to break out of it. It's harder to break away from that. We need the crisis. I'm sorry, but I needed my disease. I was in a wheelchair and I didn't know I was going to get out of it. And I needed it. I'm grateful. I'm grateful that it happened. It was terrible and it was painful, but I needed it because there was the mask and the wounded child. You have to know that in your body, in your face, in whatever you are, you basically show the wounded child. If you meet a person like that, the first impression is that you see their wounded inner child. How they sit, how they do. And it's very strong. But what happens then is they open their mouth. And they spit. Okay. Good. Why do I think that people in India have less of a mask? I'm not saying they don't have a mask at all.